What up, everybody, and welcome back to Let's Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Dustin Calloway. Let's get this thing going today. So today is going to be a little bit different, right? I want to say what's up to everybody on Facebook. If you do see this video, please like it. Please head over to YouTube and check out all my other videos. Let's Talk Podcast. Look for Dustin Calloway. Let's Talk Podcast. It's a whole playlist full of videos. Just check it out. You know what I'm saying? You might like it. If you don't, it's all good. But, man, what episode am I on today? I think I'm on episode 18, 19, something like that. I don't know. I might be wrong. I might be off. But let's get it going, man. I don't have a title for this video. So, again, this video, the episode, when it does drop on YouTube, you'll see the title then. But before we begin, what I would like to ask everyone is to please, whenever you get a chance, if you are watching this video on YouTube and you don't have enough time to finish the video, I don't need you to watch me. You don't have to stare at me and watch the whole video, right? Because I'm not jumping around doing backflips and shit, right? If you're outside doing work, playing with the dogs, you're walking down the street, riding your bike, just go ahead and pop an earbud in, take a listen. And if you don't have time to finish it, you know what I'm saying? Like, whenever you're doing something, just driving somewhere, just pop an earbud in or just turn it on in the car, listen to it, and just hear what I got to talk about. So today's going to be a little different, right? The episode is going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be the same as my usual stuff where I'll have a topic and I just kind of go straight through and then it's over. It's kind of a two-parter, right? And the reason why it's a two-parter is because I have a certain topic that I want to talk about, but it connects to something else that I went through in my life that kind of makes both of them work together. So let's get into it. So today, the episode is I'm going to be talking about this. So I asked this question here. What is the plan for your kid or kids after they turn 18 and decide to say, fuck my future? What is your plan for your kid? Right? And the reason I ask this question is because we live in this world where a lot of parents, and I'm not going to make it a black and white thing. I'm not going to make it a black and whatever other race thing. Because I see a lot of people, they like to say that shit all the time. It's just black people that do this shit. No, I know some white people that have been through this. I know multiple people from different races that have been through all of this. They turn 18, well, let's rewind back, right? It's not just when they turn 18, right? You know those kids that you go to school with, right? You get those kids that go to school, they just fucking get straight ups all the time. Or they just barely make it through, or they just don't make it through at all and they end up dropping out of school and they don't do anything, right? So they just kind of sit around at home. And then they turn 17, they turn 18, and all of a sudden they just turn into these kids that don't have any plans for their future, right? So they end up sitting around mom and dad house or mom house or dad house doing nothing. I'm talking about they don't even get a fucking job. And they just kind of just hanging around, just kicking it around the neighborhood, and they looking for those friends that they have that's pretty much in the same boat, right? They're not doing shit. They just kicking it around the house, hanging out. And then eventually, the parents get tired of them and they say, oh, you got to get out my house, right? They don't really help them with a plan, right? Because the people that I'm talking about in this video today is those people that got those parents that, everything was all sweet and shit when their kids were younger and they were like best friends. This is my best friend kid, right? All the way up until that kid turned 18, they decided that they wasn't going to do shit with their life, right? And now all of a sudden, you not my best friend kid anymore. You're a liability. You somebody that I'm tired of fucking taking care of. I don't want you up under me no more. And now all of a sudden, you don't like your kid anymore because, your kid is sitting around at home because you allowed them to fuck off all those years that you had to prepare them for real life, right? Because real life is what we live in right now. And there's a lot of kids sitting at home right now. They're 18 years old and they ain't doing shit. And if you're a parent right now and you got that kid sitting at home with you right now and they're 18, they done with high school, they done, right? But they don't have no plans. They just kind of sitting around your house and all of a sudden now you don't like them. I'm talking to you. So you got this kid sitting around your house and you're mad at him now all of a sudden. And every time you talk to somebody about your kid and they ask you, hey, how your kid doing? This or that. All of a sudden you got a fucking attitude now. You mad at your kid and you resent your kid now. But really, you should be blaming yourself. You should be blaming fucking you. Because at the end of the day, Aren't you the parent? Aren't you the person that kid is looking up to, right? They're building off of what they see you do. They building off of what you allow them to do, right? They building off of you. So why are you so upset at your kid, right? Why all of a sudden, right? Why is it your kid ain't shit now, right? And you start complaining to everybody in the fucking world about your kid, and you don't really push that kid to be anything more than what they are now. So now it's like a fucking issue every time you see your kid in the house. You walk in the house, you see your son, you see your daughter sitting there, and she ain't really doing shit, right? So you upset, right? You bitter. You mad at your kid. But really, you should be mad at your fucking self. So what I like to do on my podcast is I don't like to just sit back and just talk about everything that I see everybody else doing, right? I kind of like to let people into my world, right? And just give people a snapshot of what happens with me, right? Because it's really easy, because this is what I see on a lot of different podcasts all the time when I watch them. I see a lot of people that sit up there, and what they do is they always talk about everybody else shit, but they never talk about anything about them, right? You never let anybody in on what you do or anything that's fucked up in your life. Now, before I start talking about this, I'm not going to say that I'm disappointed in my child. I'm upset or I resent my child. I don't. So I have a 16-year-old daughter, right? And my 16-year-old daughter, 8th grade all the way down, straight A's. Did really fucking good, right? Really, really good in school. And of course, my daughter, she doesn't live with me, right? She lives at home with her mom. And she basically is tied into this exact same situation that I'm talking about right now. She's tied directly into this. And what I mean by that is my daughter is not 18 yet, right? But me personally, the way that I live my life, I like to try to plan for the future, because I've seen firsthand what putting it off, I've seen what happens, right? So yeah, I graduated from high school. I didn't struggle through high school at all. I didn't have F's and shit in high school. And the school that I went to, I played sports all through high school. And if you got an F, you would become something that's called like a 3-weeker, right? So they put you on this program where you got an F, but you can't play like the first 3 weeks, the first 3 games or some shit like that. I don't know. So I was never in that situation. But back to my daughter. So like I said, she's tied directly to this. And the reason why I say she's tied directly to this is because 8th grade and down, my daughter was doing perfect in school, right? And, it was kind of like she had this thing where I knew it was kind of like her. She was doing it, right? It wasn't me saying, hey, sit down and do this work. It was because I would always tell her, like, look, make sure you get good grades in school. I want you to try your best. Try your best. Work hard, right? So fast forward, this is where that friendship shit kick in, right, with her and mom. My daughter wanted a cell phone. Me personally, I said, nah, you're good. You don't need a cell phone. Hell no, you don't need a cell phone. You need to stay focused on school, right? So this is 8th grade going into 9th grade, right? My daughter, her mom goes behind my back, didn't talk to me about it at all. Not saying that I run shit. We meet in the middle, right? We talk about things and we do what's best for our child. Fast forward, she get her a cell phone. Didn't say shit to me about it, right? So she get her this cell phone, right? And when I tell you, if you're a parent and you're listening to this right now, or whenever you see it on YouTube, if cell phones, to me, they ruin fucking kids. And I'm not trying to say this from an old man's perspective or nothing like that, because I'm not old. I'm not in my 40s or anything like that. But I'm just telling you, from my personal experience, every child, certain kids, man, they not ready for cell phones. I'm telling you. You can have a kid that's super duper responsible. They keeping their shit right. You get them a cell phone, everything stays the same. They stay balanced out, right? But then you get on the flip side of it, right? You get the kid where you get them a cell phone and that shit takes over this thing up here and everything around them is shut the fuck down. Like they literally right here all day. Let me go to TikTok. Oh shit, let me do this dance move. Let me do this silly, goofy shit on TikTok. Let me go get an Instagram page, right? So you got an Instagram, a child in high school with an Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, what else? Twitter. They got all this shit, right? All these distractions out there, right? And, You let them get all this shit because you don't have to deal with them, right? Because it's easier to just, here, take this shit. You keep your face here. Fuck school. Fuck everything else. Because I want to be your friend, right? You give them all this shit and you distract them. So that's exactly what happened with my daughter. So that was the first thing. Mom let her get a phone. She got her a phone. Boom. So she come to me. Hey, Dad, is it okay if I get an Instagram? No. Because, see, she took that phone and went into 9th grade with the phone, right? So she in 9th grade with the phone. And I don't know how you parents now have it all set up on your end where you get the messages from the school every single day regarding your kids missing assignments, grades, and all that stuff. So I see my daughter's grades every single day. They even send them on the weekends too. So I see her grades and I see missing assignments and I can go log on and see exactly which assignment she got missing, right? So first thing I noticed, I said no to Instagram, but she still had the cell phone and she was doing TikTok, right? So I started seeing it go from A's to A, B, C, to A, C, 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 to A, D, C, C, to A, F, F, D, to F, F, C, C, D, F. You see what I'm saying? Grades steadily declining, right? And this is me telling her, you know, look, I see what's going on. And so I'm on her every day about the grades. And her grades just continue to fucking get worse. So, you know, my daughter come to me and say, hey, Dad, you know, she asked me about that Instagram again, right? Is it okay if I get an Instagram? No. You can't even get your grades right in school, but you want an Instagram? Hell no, you can't get an Instagram. No, right? This is me being responsible, Dad. No, you can't get an Instagram because you can't even keep your grades right in school. So you already got TikTok. You already got a cell phone, which your mom got behind my back, okay? And you can't even get good grades, and you got those two things right there. So if I give you something else, what's going to happen, right? It's just simple fucking math. It's going to get worse. You distracted with that phone, your shit is failing in school. So now, let's skip forward, right? So I'm still playing friendly fucking mom. This is my friend, raising her as a friend instead of being on her about her fucking grades being fucked up. I say no to my daughter about the Instagram. Fast forward, sitting upstairs one day, and my lady comes and tell me, hey, did you tell her that she can get an Instagram? I said, no. Well, she got an Instagram. Oh, really? So she goes behind my back, talks to her mom, and her mom already knew you can't get an Instagram. She already knew that. I told her grades messed up. No. So she went behind my back and just told her, no, it's okay. That friendly shit, right? So again, the whole idea of this video is to talk about those kids that turn 18, you know, and then y'all parents want to kick them the fuck out because they decided that I don't want to do shit with my life. I'm just going to sit around up under you. You going to keep taking care of me. But now you mad at them and you want to kick them out, right? So back to my daughter. She goes behind my back. Her mom lets her, they both go behind my back. She let her get an Instagram. So she on Instagram doing her little TikTok shit, dancing and all this shit. And I'm just like, damn, you can dance raw. You good with that shit. But your grades is fucked up. So this is what a lot of people don't know behind the scenes. They see you doing all this shit on social media, but do they know that you failing? No, don't know that shit, right? So I calls her and I say, you know what? This mama daughter friend bullshit is getting out of hand. Call her. So yeah, did you tell her she can get an Instagram? Yeah, I told her. I'm like, okay, well, clearly, I take it you don't see her grades because I get them every day. So I'm thinking in my mind, you should get them every day in your phone. But come to find out, she didn't even set her shit up to be able to see her grades. I'm like, damn, it's crazy. Like, so we're going to just ignore it, right? So due to the COVID shit, I hope a lot of y'all parents know, they just fucking passing y'all kids along, right? They just scooting them along. They are. But when it comes down to graduation, right? You don't have those certain credits or you don't pass those classes that you need to graduate. You'll see the end result for a lot of y'all kids. They're not going to graduate. Trust me, man. Look, when I graduated, I was standing in line with a few people and the principal walked up. Didn't I tell you you're not graduating? Get your ass out the line. Why are you here to get a cap and gown? You're not graduating. But a lot of those people just push that shit to the side and they never listened. They never thought about it until it was too late. So she told her she can get an Instagram, and I got on the phone with my daughter and I said, you know what? The crazy part about it is, though, she got the Instagram and I was like, damn, if my lady can see it, let me see. Let me go find her. I couldn't find her. I'm like, hold on. Where the fuck her page at? First thing she did was when she this is how I know they both knew it was some bullshit. You know you wrong when you go get your Instagram and the first thing you do when you create that motherfucker, you block me. She fucking blocked me. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. So you knew that I was going to be upset if you got it. So the first thing you do is you get your Instagram and you fucking block me. That's the crazy part. So again, this is mama, daughter, you know, me trying to be the responsible dad on my end because I don't want my child to be that kid that turns 18. And now I'm mad at you because you're sitting around my house and you decided you ain't going to do shit with your life. You know, so this is why I'm sitting up there upset. So that mama daughter shit is going on still. And I get my daughter on the phone. I tell her, hey, I'm gonna let you know. You went behind my back and you did this. So I have plans, right? I had plans for my child. And I'm not that father, that pushover dad, right? That's gonna say, even though you fucking up, I'm gonna keep doing this for you, or I'm gonna do what you want me to do. It don't fucking work like that, because the reason why I'm that type of dad is because I know how life works, right? And this is what a lot of y'all parents need to tell y'all kids. Life works like this. That world out there don't give a fuck about y'all kids. And that's what y'all need to realize. You're a grown up, right? And you need to realize that you can go to work right now and cry to your boss about some shit that's pissing you off. Your boss don't give a fuck about your feelings for real. Your boss is there to get a paycheck just like you. So you can go cry to the company, the owner of the company. They're going to be like, oh yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, but I'm sorry you hit your 10 points. Sorry, you're fired still. But good luck out there. But this is what y'all not teaching y'all kids, man. Y'all teaching y'all setting y'all kids up for failure, for real. Y'all kids think that y'all sitting there playing this game with y'all kids like the world is a fucking game and we're going to be best friends. Ignore all your responsibilities, but we're best friends until it's too late, right? So we go back to my child, right? So I let her know. You went behind my back. I asked you to do a couple things, right? So I'm not that parent that is super duper hard on my child. Like, no, you need to get your ass up and go to school and do this. No, I talked to my child. I said goals. Like, look, the goal is try your best in school. And I want you to focus really hard on getting your assignments turned in. And I want you to do a really good job, study this and that, blah, blah, blah. And make sure you're prepared. Stay ahead of the game. You need to be better than everybody in your class. So my child, couldn't even do that for me. So my plan was, you turn 16, well, 15 and a half, we're going to get them temps, right? We're going to hit these streets, get your driving game right. Then by the time you turn 16, I'll have your car ready for you. And then you're going to be driving. We're going to get you to driving school. And then we're going to get you off driving. And I'm just taking that book from my father, right? My mom and dad, my father, his whole goal for all of us was, let's get you to driving school. Get you on that road. He taught us how to drive, with our temps before that. Took us to get take our temp test, get our temps, put us on the road, driving school, we on the road, right? So that was the goal, right? So I'm like, I'm going to take that from him and I'm going to follow that template, right? But I got to add something to it. You got to get good grades. I need you to show me that you doing something on your end, and on my end, I'm going to give you something. But she went behind my back and basically lied to me, blocked me on Instagram. And I said, okay, well, since you did that, I got to give you something back. So you can forget about those temps. You can forget about driving school. You can forget about a car. Now, since mommy want to play, this is my friend shit with you. She want to play that game. She can do it all. She can do all of that, right? Or on the flip side, you can get your fucking grades together and then we can revisit all of that, right? But to this day, now we're in 10th grade. Grades still fucked up. All that shit is fucked up. Still on TikTok, still on Instagram, still got the cell phone right here in her face. Still a bunch of missing assignments. And mommy, question I say, hey mom, I asked her mom or whatever, and I'm trying to call her mom. I say, so what's the plan? So now I'm at a point now where I'm like, okay, what's the plan for our child, right? Not just, fuck it, I'm going to ignore all my daughter fucking up. I'm just going to ignore it and throw it out. I'm just going to wipe it away. No, now I'm talking to her mom like, hey, what's the plan for our child, right? If she decides that fuck school. Her response at this point, I really don't even know. What the fuck do you mean you don't know? As an adult, you survive every day, right? Everybody pays bills every month. Everyone. Unless, even if you're rich, you still pay some kind of bill. Right? I don't care if you pay property taxes, you're paying bills every day, every month, every year. You're paying bills, right? So what do you mean you don't know? So can you go home right now as an adult Can you go home and just shut your life down and shut the room door and say, I quit my job, I ain't doing nothing else, and somebody gonna take care of you? Hell no. I don't care if you're on welfare Section 8. You still got to do some form of paperwork or reevaluations. You got to get up and do something. They're not going to just do everything for you. Even if you on Section 8, low income housing, you have to go fill out some paperwork. You got to show up at some fucking meeting, right? So what do you mean you don't know, right? So that's my issue with a lot of these parents, man. Y'all sit up here, you play friendly with your kids, and then all of a sudden, you know, they fuck up their whole life before even getting out of high school. They fuck everything off, right? And now they turn 18, you want to kick them out the house, right? Right? You want to kick them in the streets. So I got a few questions for y'all parents that's like that. While y'all were being friends with your kids, right? Did you teach them about credit? At least, you know, while they sit in the house with you, right? Did you teach them about fucking credit? Did you teach them about, hey, when you turn 18, somebody gonna start reaching out to you if you got a job or something, and they're gonna start offering you these credit cards, right? They might start low at like $100. They might give you $100 credit line, right? And you go, cause you're a kid, you're 18, I got $100, and I ain't had to do nothing for it but sign this paperwork. Swipe, 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 $100 gone, right? Did they teach you about what's gonna happen on the flip side, right? So let's just say you pay that $100 back, right? You pay it all back at one time. Next thing you know, you look at that goddamn credit limit and it then jumped up to $300, right? You 18 again, right? So you like, damn, oh shit, let me go swipe that card again. I'm about to blow all 300 of this money on clothes and dumb shit, right? Not staying at that 30% or lower, usage, right? They don't know nothing about that, right? Did you teach them about that, right? No, you didn't. You just play fucking friendly, right? Did you teach them about managing their finances, right? Did you teach them anything about that? Did you teach them anything about that shit, right? So you get a paycheck, right? And let's just say your kid 18, I'm working at Walmart, right? So I know since my credit is decent because I've been paying my little shit off, right? Just because I know it's coming due, and I'm just like, something in me told me to do that. So now I got approved for this loan, right? For this car. I got a little $6,000 car, right? Did you teach them about, okay, when they get that paycheck, how to divvy up their money to go towards this? Towards a car note, the insurance, my cell phone bill. Did you teach them about that, how to manage their money? Or do you got that kid that's out there like, I got this car note, cell phone bill, I'm gonna let this get cut off, I'm gonna pay a little bit of this, I'm gonna wait till they send me a letter about that. Or do you have that type of kid? Did you teach them about their finances? That's the question, right? Did you teach them about paying their bills, right? So we go outside of the finances, right? Did you even teach them how to pay fucking bills, right? So let's just say, for instance, if you and that kid decide that, you know what, damn, she kicked me out or he kicked me out. My parents put me in the streets. Now I got to figure the fucking shit out, because that's how a lot of kids are. They have to figure it out now, right? Because some of y'all parents get so mad at them, or you abuse them so much at the house that they end up leaving out. They just move. 18, 19 years old, don't know shit about life, but they like, fuck it, I'm just going to figure it out. Got an apartment, right? Did you even teach them how to pay bills? Did you teach them how to write a check? Did you teach them about the water bill, the gas bill, the light bill? Any of that? Because, you can't just move into an apartment without paying something extra on the side, right? Utility recovery fees and shit like that. Did you teach them about that? Nope. So they out there trying to figure that shit on their own, right? So did you teach them about the bills instead of complaining about the bills now that they grown? Because that's what a lot of y'all do. Your kids grown up now, they're 18, and now all of a sudden, right, you never complained to them about the fucking bills when they was in the house with you. But then all of a sudden, when y'all was being friends, right, they was 17 and down, right, wasn't complaining then. But now they're 18, they ain't doing shit, they living off of you, and now you complaining about your bills that you never even taught them about, right? So this is all the shit that you complaining about now, and you expect them to just pick up and know what the fuck you talking about. They don't know shit because you ain't teach them shit. Did you teach them about sex? Condoms, birth control, and being responsible? Did you teach them about any of that, right? While y'all was being friends, Because don't fuck around and have an 18-year-old kid living in your house and you didn't teach them about that, and they don't even have an apartment or nothing, right? They go out here and make a goddamn baby. You didn't teach them nothing about sex though, right? And then you let them go out there and make a baby. So guess who's coming to stay with you and your kid? The baby. And if it's a female, You know, because a lot of women, you know, y'all do that female, this is my friend shit. I see it all the time. I'm not trying to bag on all females, but I see this shit all the time. But don't let it be that type of situation, right? Where now your daughter is coming home pregnant and shit, right? And she still got to live with you. She 18. You ain't taught her shit. So she living with you and her baby is. So now you get in this situation where you got your grandchild at the house with you. You hate her mama now because you resent her because she ain't did shit with her life. So now you want to kick her out in the streets and telling her, hey, the baby can stay, but you got to go. So the question is, did you teach them about sex, condoms, birth control, how to be responsible, right? Did you talk to them about real life or fake life? And fake life, to me, is ignoring everything that I just talked about. That's fake life, right? So what you do is you sit back and you play this friendly shit with your child, and y'all play this game with each other where we friends. And I know in your mind, because I know parents in their mind, they know that they know that shit. They know it. Some do. They talk about it, and some just put that shit off, right? They just ignore that shit until the child turns 18. See, I'm not a parent that knows. I know, and I will talk to my child about all of this shit here that I just talked about. I will talk to them about all of it, both of my daughters about all of it. Because I know that at a certain point in my life, I was that child, right? So I'm not saying that I was a dumb kid. I never fucked up in high school. I graduated high school. I didn't have any issues with that. But when it came to living in the real world, it was a lot of shit I didn't know. It was a lot of shit that I didn't know. And that's going to take me over to the second part of the podcast where I want to let people in on something major. So let's move over to the second side of this podcast. And then I'm going to wrap it up, though, because I feel like I've been running for too long. I try to keep these things nice and short just because I know the attention span is kind of, you know, people's attention span is like this nowadays. Man, it's just so much information coming at people. They just want you to get to the fucking point and just move on. So thank you, Jamie, for sticking around. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. And good luck at the new job. I'm rooting for you. So here we go. So on the flip side of it, right, of the whole turning 18 and being put out on the streets. I'm not saying that my parents put me out on the streets, but it was some other stuff in there that kind of threw me off in life that I wish I would have learned, or I wish I would have been taught, you know, back when I had the chance to, you know, to learn it all before I got set out into that world. So why I quit football, why I quit playing football. I literally quit playing football like this. I quit. I ain't fucking playing no more. I left. So I quit playing football because when I was younger, man, like a lot of people never realized this. I played football just because it was some shit to do. Like literally, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but people that know me, jump in the comment section if you are watching this video on Facebook. If you know me, you know that, come on, man, I was the truth when I was playing football. I'm talking about the truth. You talking about come home, stacks of fucking letters from every college across the nation, piles in a bag, like fucking bag full of them, over fucking 1,000 letters, man. I'm talking about everywhere. And all of it pretty much came crashing down when I got injured my senior year. Was it my senior? Yeah, my senior year I got injured. Shady shit, but again, don't give a fuck about none of that. Because at the end of the day, I really didn't care about football. I didn't value football. Put it like this. I was the kid, you know how you get the kids in school, right? They're the sports kids. They go around, I got to eat this salad and I got to eat all this protein and protein powder and creatine. No, I wasn't that kid. On game day, I used to eat fucking Doritos and Fagos. So like I used to eat Doritos and drink Fagos and honey buns at lunch in school, right? Game day. Me and my best friend Lawrence, like literally fucking Doritos, Fagos, Ohanas. Y'all remember the Ohana drinks, but that's what I did. That's how much I really didn't give a fuck. I just played just because I just played. I just wanted to fucking play. And whatever came with it, right? So when I had the opportunity to quit football, I fucking quit. Because one thing that I had to realize was I started seeing people for who they were. Like I'm talking about, it's friends and family. Like the people who support you really because they see that they can, you know, they think they see some fucking light at the end of the tunnel, right? Like they think you about to go to the fucking NFL, right? That's what they think. They think you got this NFL dream, right? So when they see that shit start going in a different route, that's when they don't really fuck with you all like that no more, right? So I quit playing football because I started seeing how the real world was, right? So when I was in college, I was like, damn, I don't have a full ride scholarship here because, you know, after the injury, all that full ride shit went away. It went away. We're talking partial scholarships and fucking gift aid. That's what they were talking, right? So then on the other side of it, my real life head kicked in, right? And this was just me personally. It just kicked in. And I said, hold on. If you're not paying for me to come here to this school 100%, what else do I have to do to get the rest of this money covered? Student loans. So that's when real life kicked in for me, right? And I said, okay, so you're giving me all this money in gift aid. It was about 90% of my tuition, right? But I had to keep fucking playing, right? But then on the other side, my grown man shit kicked in because I was grown, right? I'm 18. They like, no, you got to sign the student loan real quick. This going to cover the rest. So I'm like, oh, hell no. Hell no. So I signed a few student loans. And then I said, you know what? I'm out here busting my ass. Then I got to go to class. And then I really got to figure out what the fuck I want to do with the rest of my life. I said, nah, nope. I fucking quit. I quit because all that shit that I talked about earlier about being responsible, finances, credit, and all that shit, I never had a conversation like that growing up. No one ever told me about how real the world was going to be, right? No one told me about that shit. It was just get out there, live your life, man. You going to school and everything that comes with it, man, you'll figure it out. That's basically how I felt my life was. I felt like I was out there winging it every fucking day trying to figure it out. Didn't know that how harsh student loans would be, right? I didn't realize how harsh that shit would be. But all I knew is, I mean, I got to do this if I want to stay here. So let me just sign it, right? I didn't have nobody sit down with me telling me like, look, in the long run, this is what's going to happen, right? The long run, if you don't pay this shit back, they're going to come after you and garnish your wages, right? So, you know, again, learning in this world, after I'm done with the school and shit, I'm like, fuck them student loans. They started sending me letters immediately to, you know, start repaying my shit. Ignored them, pushed them all to the side. Whatever, you know, but not knowing, right? Because there ain't nobody around telling me none of this shit. I never learned it, right? It's just going with the flow, right? I'm going to have to learn everything the goddamn hard way. That's what happens to these 18-year-old kids, right? You don't teach them shit. But when you kick them out there in the world, you expect them to just pick up on shit and learn how to do it. Nah, they don't. We didn't know none of that shit, right? So again, I started, you know, I quit playing football. I was ignoring my student loan shit letters that was coming to the house, and then all of a sudden, I got old enough to the point where I started realizing, like, you know what? Let me just start getting some shit for myself, right? Got my apartment and shit. I'm living my life. I'm feeling good, right? I just started learning about paying utility bills. I had just started learning about that, right? Paying my own utility bills because this is the first time in my life I'm doing it, right? So a couple of them went bad because I'm like, damn, I ain't know that. I'm thinking I can get away with paying that partial shit, right? Because I was struggling. You know, like I wasn't making that much money, so I was struggling. And I didn't know until I come home one day and my fucking lights is cut off in my apartment. I'm like, okay, let me get my shit right. So I learned from that lesson, right? You got to pay that whole shit and do this and do that. So I learned that the hard way. But them letters from that student loan kept piling up, right? I ain't having no shredder, so I would just sit them shits to the side. And I kept ignoring them. And then all of a sudden, the job that I was working at, they got a letter from a judge that agreed to start garnishing my wages because I didn't pay back my student loan. So I'm like, hold on, let me open up this mail. So I opened it up and I started reading it. I'm like, man, damn. Okay, let me get this shit right. I immediately jumped on the phone with them. Got on the payment plan, and I started repaying my student loans. Paid this shit off within a fucking year, right? Just not thinking, right? But this is all the shit that your kids don't be prepared for, right? So this is all the shit that if you sit in the house with your kids and you play friends, you know, I'm going to be your friend, and you ignore all the responsible shit that you should be teaching them, right? All the important shit, that you should be teaching them. This is what happens in the future to people like us. I'm not saying that in my household when we were growing up, my parents, they were like friendly with me. No, my household was a little bit different. Right now, I'll cover that in a different household where you got like my parents, they worked a lot, you know what I'm saying? And I look at the way that my parents were raised, and I kind of take that into account for how I was raised, right? So it's not like my parents were being friend shit with me. No, it was different, right? So they kind of just took on a template that they were used to growing up, and they kind of applied that same template to me and my brothers and my sister, and it kind of made shit go a little bit funny for us. So it's not similar, it's not the same as this right here. This one is strictly tied to just those parents that are raising their kids like on that friendly shit. You want to be friends with your child, and then all of a sudden when they turn 18, you want to kick them in the fucking streets, man. And then on the flip side, this is where I'm gonna end this whole podcast off, right? On the flip side, for those of you that are watching this video, if you can relate, please tell me you can relate. Just drop a comment in the comment section and tell me that you can relate. So, your parents didn't teach you about none of the important shit in life, right? Nothing. You know, finances, sex, fucking having children young, or, you know, all that shit. They never taught you about none of that shit, right? So all of a sudden, right, you're grown fucking human now. You're grown. You out here paying your bills, taking care of yourself. You got your own shit going on in your life. You don't even live with them no more. You grown as hell. You could be in your 30s or late 20s. And yeah, shit, you could be in your 40s. I've seen my dad do it to 40-year-olds. It's like say shit to 40-year-olds. And I'm like, man, this man 40. Okay. You grown as hell now, right? And your parents all of a sudden, they sit up here. They didn't teach you none of this shit, right? None of this shit that you're going through right now, right? So you kind of sitting over there and you mentioned that you're doing this or this is going on and you taking care of that. And all of a sudden your parents want to start giving you fucking advice that they should have gave you when you was a child. When you was a little kid, all of a sudden they want to be hard on you about some shit. I'm like, hold the fuck on. When you had the chance to talk to me about this and teach me about this before I got to this point, you didn't. And all of a sudden now that I'm grown, you want to try to ease up on that shit, because that's the type of shit that I don't like, right? You get your parents, I won't say 100% failed you, but it's like all the shit that I talked about earlier in the video. Now all of a sudden you grown and you out here living your grown ass life, and now your parents want to talk to you about the shit. Like, no, you can just miss me with that shit. This is why a lot of people, like older, like, you know, people that are not older, but like people my age or a little bit younger than me or older, this is why we don't fucking listen to y'all. Like, because we feel like, okay, it's just too late. Like, honestly, when y'all be trying to say shit to us, like, let me just give you a prime example, right? Like, I'll just say my father, right? Like, when I'm over my mom and dad's house and I'll start talking about, like, my job or some shit, right? And they'll try to say some shit to me about, well, you should have did this and you should. Really? I should have did this and I should have did that, right? And it'll always go back to some college shit. And I'll be like, hold on. Did you help me get into college? Did you walk me through the doors? Did you sit down with me and talk about my future? Did you even sit down and open up a book with me to help me go over what I want to be in the future? But now all of a sudden, I'm over there complaining to you about my fucking job. And you go to, well, you should have finished up this and did this with college. And hold the fuck on. Nah. We gonna cut that shit. We definitely gonna cut that, because now a lot of y'all get to this point where y'all think that y'all can just say anything to y'all kids after y'all done sat up here and played this game with them their whole life. When you had the chance to address all of this shit that you're trying to say to us now, it's too late. Like, okay, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but look, I've been navigating this thing by myself for the longest now. I've been navigating this shit. Look, back when my fucking wages was about to get garnished, fucking damn near 17, 18 years ago, was you saying shit? Where was you at with that? Nothing. Nah, hell no. I struggled through that too. I struggled through so much shit. Now I'm at a point now where I done been through so much shit. Look, I know how to figure out shit on my own now. Thank you for the advice, but if you ain't helping the situation, I ain't trying to hear the shit. I'm not trying to hear it. So to go back and to end this podcast, this is the shit that I'm talking about. All y'all parents out there, y'all sitting up here playing these games with y'all kids, right? 17 and down. They're your best friend. Y'all playing besties, and I love my kid, and we gonna go hang out, and we gonna do fucking dancing at the little picnics and shit, and we gonna have a little nice little handshake and shit, and some type of dap, little handshake, special handshake. I'm gonna be friendly with my kid. Girl, motherfucker, you know. No. Cut that shit. Don't ignore the important things that you need to teach your fucking children. Don't ignore that shit. Don't put it on the back burner and you let all these years pass you by, you and your child by. And then all of a sudden, when they get to that real level in life where they start struggling, because for real, most kids to me start struggling when you get to high school, right? They start struggling when you get to high school, but they so used to that 8th grade and down you friendly shit that when they get to high school, you better hope they listen to you. You better hope that they want to listen, because that's the shit that I'm going through right now with my child. I've been on her. I've been saying shit to her. I've been teaching her, trying to teach her how to be responsible. But at the end of the day, guess what? She don't live here. She don't live in this house with me, right? She live with her mom. So I could say everything. I could say shit to her every fucking day. But at the end of the day, she got to want to listen, right? She got to want to take that shit in, because what, you want me to beat her? Want me to give her a fucking whooping? No, I ain't going to whoop my child or beat my child. No, I'm not going to do that, because what is that going to do? It's not going to solve anything. The whole shit goes out the window when she goes home, right? So I only got to listen to you when I'm here with you. But when I go home, you don't control shit over here. And this is what these kids know. They know that if the child doesn't live with you and you're the responsible parent, and they live with the irresponsible parent, they know that when they go home, they don't have to listen to you. They know this shit. So what do? When they go home, fuck everything you said. Back to my regular, program over here with this TikTok shit. Let me set my phone up and get to fucking doing this TikTok shit. Cool, I got 1,000 likes. I got 1,000 shares. All that shit. I got all that. But guess what? What the fuck are you going to have when mommy decide to kick you out the house? What are you going to be having? What you going to have, right? So I'm telling you all this right now. Don't let your child find out the fucking hard way. The hard way ain't cool, right? Because it's a scary world we live in now. I got lucky for real, because the world is not as bad to me. To me back then when I was going through it all, I had a little bit of help in the system, a little bit like people, a little bit of guidance here and there. But now this world will eat your ass alive. And that's what a lot of these kids don't realize. If you pay attention, man, look around. Shit is getting worse. You may not see people walking around on the streets busting each other over the fucking head, but look at the shit that's going on with these kids, man. Look at the kids, man. These kids are fucking gone. I'm talking about gone. And I'm not talking about the kids that just out there shooting each other, because kids don't fight no more. But I'm talking about up here, these kids are fucking fried, man. Like they don't have a fucking clue what's going on. You try to talk to them, they don't have nothing to say. They just kind of sit there like fucking zombies. All they do is stay in their phone. They try to find more creative ways to do TikTok, more creative ways, or to not even creative ways. They just do dumb shit on social media all the time for likes and clicks and shit. Like, yeah, I do my comedy stuff and I do my funny stuff, but I think about what I do, right? So I don't just go out there and let me go ahead and let me take a shit, right? Let me go take a shit in the toilet, and I'm going to dig my hand in the toilet and grab the shit, smear it all over my face, and I'm going to create a video on TikTok and say, damn, it smells shitty in here. No, I don't do dumb shit like that, but that's what these kids do. They do any fucking thing. Anything. So you factor that into you trying to be their friend at home. You trying to be friendly, right? You trying to be, I just want to be the friendly parent, right? I want to be your best friend. Man, you setting your fucking child up for failure, man. For failure. We got to do better, man. We got to do better. And as far as my child goes, trust me, I ain't never going to turn my back on my child. I'm not going to stop pushing her to be better. And trust me, I got a contingency plan if she decides that. I'm going to just say, fuck all this shit. Oh, trust me, I got a plan. Stay ahead of the game, not behind it. Okay, so that's going to pretty much end this podcast off today, man. And again, please smash that like button. Please share my video if you get a chance to. Just spread the word. Right now, everything is on YouTube. I'm running everything straight through YouTube. My page is Dustin Calloway. The playlist is Let's Talk Podcast. This episode, for the people on Facebook, it will be up on YouTube on, tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So again, if you don't have enough time in the day to watch my video, listen, you don't have to watch me. I'm not dancing and I'm not doing all that dancing shit. I'm not doing shit where you got to watch me. I'm not throwing shit up on the screen. So just listen. You know what I'm saying? That's all I need you to do. So if you don't get a chance to finish it right now, please head back in and check it out, later. And tell everybody about it. But pretty soon I am going to have this on Spotify and everywhere that you can put a podcast. I just got to do a little bit more homework on it and figure out how much money I'm willing to pay for all of this. So again, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Jamie. You stayed the whole time. I really appreciate you. Thanks, David Red, man. Thanks, man. I appreciate y'all. So until the next time, my people, peace.